Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Next up, we need a drum roll. We need something. We need some spooky music or something for Conspiracy Corner with my man John, a.k.a. Professor X. Like, what you got for us this week, John?
It was something I saw on the clip with the comedian Godfrey that I used to talk about all the time, and I think that I believe that this is by design, that there is no black economic front for black people. We have no banks. We have no just straight financial institutions meant for us. Right. And to me, what bothers me the most about black folks is that we are walking endorsements for everyone else to coat ride and steal the next wave from us. And I just don't get it.
So the conspiracy is what? They boxing us out?
Oh yeah, we had the Black Wall Street down in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but we see how what happened with that.
Right.
They starting up one right now, like in Atlanta, like a little Black Wall Street, and
you know we had something similar to that in North Carolina back in the day too.
I mean, and I wish every major city and on all these states would have one. Like black folks need one in every 50 states. We need
what though? Like self-contained. Like I feel like segregation was a big problem because I feel like we should all be to ourselves. It's like you can branch out and deal with each other, but at the end of the day. But on top of that, even if we're all black, everything, at some point you still got to deal with the white people.
So let me ask you this, right? When you go all black everything, and the black people still venture over there to the other side, then who's to blame for that? Because
you're always going to have people going over to the other side.
What you mean venture to the other side as far as what?
What I'm saying is, everything is black owned. Like, you don't always get the support from the black. So then what?
Listen, on that side, I agree with that. But if you got like a whole black contained situation, like the whole area and everything you need is there, even if the products are white. Like, say for example,
I'm saying is you're always gonna have those groups of people. Yeah. It's like I'm still going. Yep. So whose fault is that? Because a lot of times my thing is with the black owned stuff don't take off like that a lot because the blacks don't support it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So it's like how can you?
But see, the sad part is that when we don't spend that money within our community, because that could be a continuous cycle within us. You go over there and you spend that money with them. That money ain't coming over here. That's why I say we need some stores. You don't see any like Asians or whatever coming over to shop at your stores, and I think it's time that we actually need to force them because we're supporting all these Chinese stores on every other corner, all these poppy stores, but what do we have for ourselves? We get what? We got some hair. We got some barbershops and hair salons. We got some Caribbean food spots. Like, are you serious? We got some.
But what I'm saying is,
what do we have?
What if you name any major avenue on Philadelphia? Let's say 52nd Street. You take 6 blocks and make it all stores from black people.
They're gonna get business.
They're gonna get business, right? But let's think of all the people that's going to say, oh, that stuff fake, and I'm going to go to the gallery, or, oh, that stuff fake, I'm going to go to Saks, and, they price is too high, I'm going to go. That's what you're going to have when you have, and then whose fault is that? Because you can't blame. What I'm saying is, when them black businesses end up folding because it's not support, you can't blame the other people if people not coming, right?
But see, the misconception that we're going over there to buy some Chanel, that they don't give a fuck about us. Some Gucci, they don't give a fuck about us.
Right.
So whatever, Goyard, anything you can find, they don't give 2 flying fucks about us. But we will spend our last dime to look nice in that shit, as opposed to doing the reverse and spending it within your own community. Imagine what you would have got.
I understand that, but my thing is what I'm asking you, is it more so people holding us back and so we can accomplish this? Is it our own people not supporting enough?
I see what you're saying, and I think it's too many people that are not shopping with us, because if there was more people that were shopping within the black community, it would just be more of a norm. And we're not at that point where it's more of a norm to be like going on the website. You know what? I need some detergent. I'm not going to go to CVS. I'm going to go on this website and order this black.
Right.
Black. Until we get it to the norm where everybody around you, more and more people are doing
that's it. Even when I told y'all with the healthy stores, if you put a healthy store next to each McDonald's, that doesn't mean people going to go in it. No. You know what I mean?
It also has to do with being pre-programmed. They've been shopping with these people.
That's what years. I thought he was going to say. So, I was waiting for him to say program.
And you know how most black people think, oh, if something new pop up, motherfuckers ain't jumping right on to that, because you gotta see it come along before a motherfucker jump on. And like I was saying, if you got one neighborhood with all these black-owned stores, even if they're selling name brand products that are made by white people, but they're black-owned stores, I feel like people would shop there,
right?
As opposed to just automatically going out to the white-owned stores selling the same product.
Right.
I feel like they would get business.
My thing is, though, even with the programming, if we are programming, if you look at these billionaires, right, their images, how many images you gonna pull up where they got Goyard and they Louis, like they're dressed basic. You know what I mean? They're not too flashy. And even if it is Gucci or something, you're not going to know it's Gucci or something. You see what I'm saying?
But so I know FUBU, Rockaware, that shit did numbers. And that's black-owned businesses. So
but they're famous. So what I'm saying, what about if you're taking that whole block, and I'm talking about people that's not famous? Because if you're popular,
even if you're white and you're not famous, no motherfucker's not buying your shit. If, like, for example, people buy Gucci, Prada, and Louis because it's famous and people promote it. If the regular average white person comes along and makes some shit, people ain't buying that shit.
Right. Well, it depends on what it is and who it is. Yeah. Because if there's somebody with popularity, what I'm saying with FUBU, you had popular people, LL and all of them at the time, where with Rockaware, you had Jay.
Who made FUBU wasn't real.
Yeah, but even with Jay, with Rockaware, when you had Rockaware, they boomed, but Jay-Z was the biggest artist in the world.
I definitely understand that, but on the flip side with FUBU, the people who made FUBU, like Damon John, they're really not mainstream names.
Right. But they got the people that...
But like Milano did good numbers, and she's not famous.
Shout out to Milano. You know, definitely get busy.
The only thing that happened wrong with FUBU, they had design flaws to me. That's all it was.
But not time out though. Time out.
I thought it was a whole bunch of design
time
flaws.
Time out though. Even what I'm saying about the black people supporting, black people killed FUBU. Black people was killing FUBU. Remember, in Philadelphia, you got clowned for wearing FUBU, even if it was black owned and all. So our people kind of killed that black business. That's what I'm saying.
It was a designer flaw. Like Rockaware, that was cool. People wore it. State property, people wore it. It was cool.
Yeah, but if you go back and look at that state property Rockaware shit we was wearing, it was out of pocket. Yeah, the pockets was this fucking long.
But that's just that was with the generational like dress code at the time.
Like you could wear baggy clothes. You could put a fucking whole thing in your back pocket. Like,
but that's the truth. That was the era.
Shout out to Rockaware.
Sean John did good numbers. Sean John shit was not always nice though.
Right.
More so not with all the baggy shit.
So keep it a C-note with us people. Are they holding black businesses back? Are they keeping us down? Or is it us?
It's both.
No, it's both. It's both though. I mean,
but let me ask y'all a question, because y'all conspiracy guys, right? Sometimes I don't be sold on a lot of stuff. So I hear we want to depopulate. We want to bring the numbers down. But when you take something like Roe versus Wade, that's going to bring more numbers, because you're saying we can't get rid of kids now. And so help me understand the contradiction in that. Is it about depopulation, or are we reaching with this?
Let me say this. It's definitely, they definitely want to depopulate, but certain people.
Right.
Roe versus Wade is more so catered to the white, because think about it, if we're the majority, is really not catered to us. Like if the white people majority, and I seen something where they're having less children than us, so they're saying the white race is in danger, basically.
Oh, like going extinct.
Not extinct, but it's going to be where they're not going to be the majority in a certain amount of years.
Okay.
So that's why that, like, if you go online or YouTube, it's a video up with Trump, and there's some white lady is talking, and she's basically thanking the people for doing this. And I forgot exactly what she says, but basically
White power.
how Trump said make America great again.
Yeah.
She's along them lines as far as helping the white population escalate.
Okay. What's your thoughts, John? Help me understand this, because you conspiracy ball.
Yeah, because for one, what's her name? Margaret Thatcher, saying whatever the fuck her name was. She with the founder of the Planned Parenthood.
Right.
She was not for us blacks.
Okay.
And if you look at the numbers of like aborted babies, like over the years, you would see the high numbers of black babies that were aborted, and not to mention like all the creepy shit not that I think that they do at Planned Parenthood with those babies after they're aborted.
Like what?
It's
because I've seen stuff where there's let's time out. Anybody eat Cheetos, Doritos? I've seen all the bull crap conspiracy. I don't mean to call it bull crap. Pardon me, conspiracy theorist people, but the red stuff from is like parts from aborted babies or sauce. Have y'all ever seen that with the Doritos, the Cheetos, and that's why it stay in your hand like that?
You can make a conspiracy out of anything.
A lot of it be confusing me, so I'm saying like help me understand.
But what is the most sought after thing that nobody hears about? And I know it's something big because you don't hear about it at all. And that's this thing called adrenochrome. And where do you get it from? You get it from young infants,
right?
And you could get it from who's probably the biggest supplier of that shit? Probably Planned Parenthood,
right? But what I'm asking you though, John, is if blacks are aborting babies at this high rate, right? And you want to depopulate, especially because of blacks, why are you overturning Roe versus Wade?
Because you're not taking consideration the whites that are aborting babies in all these small hick towns in the middle of America.
They're a little misled, but at the same time, women at the end of the day still want a voice at the end of the day, whether they want to abort a baby.
Yeah, I know that.
But what's sad is that the high number of black babies that are being aborted. Now, after I looked at that stat, I was like, wow. But at the same time,
why?
Because it's like that. You know how many generations lost that is. Like you don't know what that kid could have been.
Everybody is just because you can have kids doesn't mean you're meant to have kids.
Yes.
They aborting them kids for a reason.
Shout out to that, Vito.
Yeah,
shout out to that, Vito.
I mean,
shout out to that.
And that goes back. You know it takes two to tango, and you know what dance you get into before you get in that bed.
That's where it goes back to where I was saying the paying attention thing, because especially in today's society where everything is going on, everybody is shoot 'em up, bang bang. There's no way that you have a teenage child and you're not totally in tune with what they got going on. You see what I'm saying? Because like Vito said, some people are not meant to be parents, even though they can be parents. You see what I'm saying? You got people running out having babies after a night out of partying, and all they know is partying. You got like, even with, how do y'all feel about how y'all feel about when females are pregnant and they still out drinking, partying, or they smoking and all that? How y'all feel about that?
I mean, that's messed up. But see, that goes along with how I don't agree with a lot of shit. You know that Philadelphia allows these pregnant women to be on these drugs. You ever heard of methadone clinics?
Yeah.
They're all across. There's one right by Ivy League, right in West Philly, right in smack dab in West Philly. So these Ivy League kids got to walk right next to that. And these folks are like Zombieland. And we're like, I'm actually paying out of my pocket taxes for these motherfuckers to get high.
Right.
I have a problem with that shit.
Right.
So that's fucked up.
Right. You got anything else, Vito? No. So, what's your thoughts, people? Y'all please help me out, because there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there. If we're talking about depopulation, and that's what it's about, please explain to me. They don't need to hear it, but I need to hear it. Why do we have Roe versus Wade being overturned where we can bring more babies into the world? Like, what is the reason for that if we're trying to depop? Keep it a C-note with me.
But let me ask you a question, though. What we talked about, like, last week, what do you think about if they're trying to depopulate us, right? And they got, like, all these farms, losing all this cattle. Where are these rich folks going to get these supplies from, too, if they're not ready available to the general public?
Like, who say they don't got them already? See? You don't got to put everything out there. I don't have to let you know everything I have. Mm-hmm. You know, but
so you think those way up there, they know what's happening, what's about
everything. They're controlling.
If it's a movie the way y'all saying, these people know what's going on. Listen, that's where we need to get into. I hear a lot. Brother John, you got to let us know. Freemasons. Oh, yeah, I hear a lot about secret societies. I hear a lot about Illuminati. I got a lot of questions, y'all. I got a lot of questions like, if that's true, then why this and why that? So, you know, we gonna give it to y'all in a couple weeks, pause. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? I wanted to close with one thing. Philly music guy, I believe it was, commented on one of the posts about the YouTube video with Brittany Griner. If it was LeBron James and that, and I'm paraphrasing, but it will be on the screen. He said that LeBron James never had any issues and all of that. Basically, like LeBron James never had any issues, so he wouldn't have put himself in that situation, so we wouldn't have had to go get him. And I see a lot of people are looking at, because when you look at Brittany Griner, she's more like a Dennis Rodman type of figure where she's been in a lot of stuff, suspended a lot for fighting. She's got a lot of stuff going on. So I don't know if he was trying to put those two together, but he was just basically saying that we would have never had to go get LeBron because he wouldn't have put himself in that situation.
Yeah, but he also got himself in trouble on Twitter.
With what?
Because when he retweeted, he was like, if I was her, would I even want to come back here?
But I will say that, shout out to LeBron. This my little, I don't know if y'all got to say it with your chest moment before we leave, because everybody think I'm just the biggest LeBron hater, but my say it with your chest. Maybe. But my biggest say it with your chest moment is shout out LeBron, because he came into the league as an 18-year-old kid. And I don't know too much off basketball stuff where he's gotten into where police was involved, where it was any negative bull crap. You know and for a kid to do that, like that, shout out to you. Like, I don't know, maybe he may have the best people cleaning his little messes up, but shout out to LeBron on the strength of that.
He got a beautiful family.
Beautiful. Anything else, y'all?
No, I'm good.
Well, we're about to wrap this episode up, people. Again, shout out Hustle and Heart for the cups. Call them a Uber. You know, shout out to Jose Cuervo, because that's what we drinking today. Shout out to everybody that's keep tuning in with us. If this your first time, again, hit the sub button, hit the like button. We definitely up out of here. As always, I'm your boy Brown. To the left of me, I got
your boy John.
And to the left of John, we got
Vito.
Time out, y'all. We need to do this over, right? Because we need to. I don't want to be the AKA guy every time. Like, we need a John, AKA Professor X. Vito, a.k.a. Vito Samuels. Like, come on, man.
You talking about a.k.a.? What's your a.k.a.?
Mr. What Up, dog?
No, your a.k.a. is call him an Uber because you tripping.
Call me an Uber.
Hold on, I forgot. Let me give my shout out. Let me give a shout out to something that we skipped past. Give a shout out to my man, Professor X, for putting Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson on his list.
Yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to his Uber, too. It will be pulling up
what they play
in
like?
the next couple.
How many years they play? 09 to 2013?
I don't know, but any list you put D-Jack on, man, I'ma wrap it up like
Last
this.
two
I'ma cut
evil
and
linemen.
I'ma wrap it up like this, and I'ma cut the microphones up off. When you mention D Jack, I get Debo Samuel vibes. I'm just saying. As always, people, tell a friend to tell everybody. Keep the C note. We'll holla at y'all. Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, da, da.